Hey everybody. Thanks for joining me here tonight. I appreciate it. Um, I'll be interviewing. What's your story? Hang on a second, and I'll bring him on right now. Um, Chris, you want to try again? Try joining again, Chris. Hey Jane. Hey Constantine. Hey bad guy. Hey Red Hood. Hey Jeff. Yeah, Chris, try again. Hey, trust no one. Thanks for joining me here tonight. Appreciate it, everybody. Chris, try again, please, with the link. Oh, there we go.
We good?
Yeah, we good.
Hey, what's up, man?
And not much. How about you?
Doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on. I just figured I'd return the favor from you being on earlier this year.
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I always want to interview you.
Yeah, now is your opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I see you've done this a couple of times before, I guess. You've interviewed other people, I assume.
Yeah, I have. This is my sixth video now I've done.
Okay. How you liking it?
Um, Not bad. I'm getting the hang of things. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I learned from a certain someone.
It wouldn't be me.
Actually, yeah, it would be you. Hey, Tracy. Hey, White Claw. Hey, Bryden. Oh, there you
What's
go.
going on? What's going on, Constantine?
Hey,
He's an
Constantine.
OG supporter.
Oh yeah, he is. So is Red Hood.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. So I'm going to ask you, what's your story, Chris?
What's my story?
Yeah. You want to start from the
Um,
beginning?
I've said it a couple times. I think JDQ interviewed me and Jules interviewed me last year. And by the way, shout out to her. She's doing a good job with her Survivor stream that's on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Shout out
Pretty much
to
doing what
Jules.
I did and taking it to another level. So I'm proud of her. But my story is it's long, it's complicated, pretty much. Um, I had basically never really knew my biological father. I've had issues with my mother with mental abuse, physical abuse, and whatnot. It's pretty much a long story, but that's pretty much the background of it. I don't know how much detail do you want or whatnot, but
Whatever you're comfortable with.
yeah, I mean, I'm an open book. All that's pretty much all in the past, so I'm pretty much able to tell anything. Like I said, it was all a lot of physical abuse when I was a kid, a lot of mental abuse, being told that I wouldn't amount to anything and whatnot. And I've overcome that. I'm a lot more confident in myself these days than I was growing up. So, if anything, if I can help motivate other people, then it's all worth it.
Yeah, like overcoming that, sometimes it could be very difficult.
Hmm.
It's how you handle it, that defies you in life.
Exactly. You're not who your circumstances dictate who you are. You're not the things that happen to you. That doesn't make you who you are. You can overcome that. You can rise above whatever situation that was presented to you. That doesn't have to define you. You're just like in your story, for example. your issues with alcoholism, that doesn't define you as a person. That's not who you are these days. You just gotta learn to overcome whatever situation that life brought you.
You're right. Um, do you want to talk about your childhood? Like what it was
Um,
like?
well, yeah, like I said, growing up, I never knew my biological father, so that
Yeah.
to this day, I still wonder. Um, and I mean, I think about it more as like it's his loss that he never got to um see my childhood, see me growing up, see me growing into the man that I am today. It's his loss. I mean, I don't know what exactly the reason was behind him leaving. It could have been a number of things, but I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as, you know what, like I said, it's his loss. He missed out on a lot of things that he could very well have been there for. And I'm a grown adult. Whatever happened as a kid, he has had plenty of opportunity to make amends and try to reach out to me and try to rebuild that relationship. And he has yet to do so. So it's not no loss on my part.
Sorry to hear about that, Chris. I really am. I couldn't fathom the thought.
Yeah, like I said, like growing up, you've always had that back in your mind, whether or not what have was it your fault or why am I not good enough? Why am I not, you know, able to be loved or whatnot? And you start looking inward and thinking it's your fault. You're the problem. You're the one that caused all this to happen, and it leads to depression. It leads to suicidal thoughts and actions, which I've had a few times that I have attempted suicide growing up. That and just the stuff you go through as a teenager, and in of itself is a lot of pressure. Um, that on top of the stuff that you're dealing with at home, it doesn't it can definitely pile up.
Yeah, I never knew that about. I don't think I ever knew that about you, about you having those thoughts. So
Yeah,
you had those dark thoughts then, those
yeah,
that crossed the mind. Yeah, it's a very scary situation, isn't it?
yeah. It's like you feel like you're alone, that nobody cares about you, and you feel like you'd be better off if you were to basically end your life. You were tired of the pain. You're tired of the um, situations that you've gone through in life. Yeah, there's been a couple times, like I said, I could think of just like what happened yesterday, where I tried to attempt suicide, and thank God I'm here. I'm here for a reason. So
That's right. You
that
have to the
in
reason.
itself is a miracle, me being here, because I was born with cerebral palsy. I was born premature.
Hmm.
About a couple months premature. I can't remember the exact time frame, but yeah, I was just overcoming that in itself. Um, like I said, I'm able to function. I don't ever use that as an excuse or a crutch. I don't ever even think about it unless somebody brings it up. So it's not. I've never been a woe is me type of person. Had pity on me because of this and whatnot.
Yeah, if anything, it made you stronger in life.
It has. It helps build a lot more confidence in me. When somebody tells me, and that used to always light a fire in me when I was a kid growing up, even as a
Hmm.
young adult, somebody would tell me I can't do something or won't believe that I would do it. That would just light a fire in me and just be like, you know what? Let me just, you know, I not necessarily prove them wrong, but to prove it to myself that I could do it.
Yeah, and that's great. And you are right. You are here for a reason. All of us are. Like I had those thoughts too. Like ending it. Like during my drinking days, I tried to overdrink and it didn't work. You know.
Yeah.
and it's a very scary. It's a scary thing, having those thoughts.
Yeah, man. Um, like I said, you feel like there's no alternative. There's no escape from what you've been dealing with. And you think that nobody loves you or cares about you and that life will go on without you, but that's not the case. Somebody loves you. Somebody cares about you.
Yeah, you're right, but it's hard to think that when suicide crosses your mind.
Oh yeah, when you're in that mindset, it's hard to think about that. It's hard to think about because that's all you're thinking about is this your problems and your situation and whatnot. You're consumed by it. You're not thinking of what's down the road. You know, there's better days that are ahead. You're not seeing that. You're seeing what's in front of you.
You're right. Um, just going through that though, it's very almost liberating, I guess, you know. But when did your mom never said to you or explained to you why your dad left, or no?
She's given me her story, but with it being my mother, that's it could be a number of things. And like I said, I'm a grown adult. He lived in St. Petersburg, Florida. Grew up in Tampa, which is like 30 minutes away. So
Hmm.
I was very accessible, especially with me being an adult now. He has had plenty of opportunities to reach out to me and whatnot. And I don't know his side of the story, but I'm not, like I said, it's not for me to judge him. Like I said, I could just live my life and know that things happen for a reason. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're better off. Like look who you are today.
exactly. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff that's happened in my life has helped develop confidence in me. I don't think of myself more highly than I should have. Um, because, like I said, there's people um, that have had it much worse than me. There's people that have even now people that are homeless, people that are struggling, um, and like I said, even with cerebral palsy, there's people that are in wheelchairs that can't walk or talk that can't basically fend for themselves. And I've been independent. I've been on my own since high school. Um, so I'm much more fortunate than a lot of other people.
Yeah, like as I said earlier, it makes you stronger.
Hmm.
Even if you don't realize it, it does make you stronger in life.
Exactly.
Um, what was your life after like high school and all that?
High school, I literally moved out of high school. I've always been the headstrong, independent type of person. If I want something, I pretty much um, nobody could tell me that I can't do it. I've been headstrong um, since that I've been that way since birth. I literally moved to another state. I've learned a lot of lessons being an adult. Obviously, being on my own for the first time. I failed a lot of times, but I grew up. I think that first 6 months, I probably grew up more in my life. Just learning to be on your own, learning how to, what mom and dad is not around, so to speak.
Hmm.
You got to fend for yourself. You got to pay your bills. You got to do what you got to do. And I learned fast
Yeah, you
that
would
the
have
real
to,
world
man.
is not. It's no joke.
Yeah, you definitely would have to learn fast at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of growing up that I had to do. It's like 1 minute I'm in high school, and basically overnight, so to speak, I'm learning how to manage my money, learning how to pay bills, learning how to just function as an adult, and it's not easy. Um, Especially when at school they don't really teach you stuff like that. They don't teach you life stuff. besides home ec and stuff like that, and ag class where you would build stuff, but there's no financial classes and whatnot, nothing to teach kids for life after they get out of high school.
Yeah. How's your relationship with your mom and the rest of your family, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's not, I mean, it's all is well. I mean, I've forgiven her a long time ago. Life is too short to be bitter. Life is too short to hold grudges against anybody. And that's why I am so adamant about things. Um, like I said, it's not like the typical mother-son relationship, but it's not, I don't hold grudges against her. I don't think um of her in a bad way. What happened happened.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, it's I can't change the past, and life is short. At the end of the day, it's your mother. It's if something were to happen to her tomorrow or myself, you don't know where life takes you. So I don't want to live life knowing that I had a grudge against somebody and they passed or something happened to them and they would never be able to resolve that issue.
Wow. Hearing that, this is why, in my opinion, you're on a different level than a lot of other people. Like you're willing to forgive. You know, and some of us, it's kind of hard to do that still.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
like I said, it didn't happen overnight. I've held on to a lot of things for years. And that affected a lot of my relationships growing up. That affected a lot of friendships and just how I kept everything inside of me. I never really opened up to people. Like I said, that kind of affected a lot of my relationships. But I learned to just let a lot of things go, man. You gotta let a lot of shit go. Like I said, you can't change the past, but you can change what the future holds.
you're,
And
you're
one day
absolutely right.
you wanna, you know, when it's all said and done, you want to live life and wonder what if or what could have been or if I had mended fences with this person or you want to live life with no regrets.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like if you hold like grudges and stuff like that, it can poison you too on the inside.
Hmm.
Uh, Trust me, I should know. You know.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like unforgiveness and bitterness is like you drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. Um, Chances are, and that's why I'm so adamant, even on YouTube, of people that get caught up in the beef and stuff that people are never gonna ever see these people. Why? Why hold on to stuff that you're like I said, you're never going to see that person. Chances are you're never going to interact with that person. Why hold grudges against people? Why hold things against people for stuff that's so petty, um, so childish, and a lot of things when you come to think about it. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, like a lot of us are still trying to learn that, myself included. It's very hard. Like I'm not sure if I told you that when you interviewed me or not. I don't remember, but it's something that like I don't know if I could ever forgive that particular person.
yeah. Have you had um that discussion with that particular person or whatever?
No, no, I haven't. My dad and mom told me what had happened to that person, and I just didn't have any emotion towards. I said I'm sorry she has that, but I still have that anger, you
Yeah.
know, that hatred in me towards her, you know, and I don't think I could ever let it go. Honestly, I don't think I can, you know.
I mean, each person has their own battles to deal with. Like I said, life is too short, man. Um, you don't want to. Nobody wakes up and says, "I'm going to die today." You don't know what today holds. You don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know what 6 months down the road holds, man. You don't want to live life knowing things were unresolved, even if it's even if it's just for yourself, man. Not
Yeah, I know.
necessarily for that other person, but you gotta let stuff go for you, man, because it's no good for you.
Yeah, you're right. But this isn't about me though. It's about you, though, Chris. We're gonna get back to you. So,
Sure,
yeah. Well, maybe
that's
do
in me,
another.
man. That's in me, man. I'm sorry, I
Well, you know
can't
what?
help it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do a part two of me on your channel one day.
Maybe one day, man. That's yeah. Well, definitely.
So,
What's up?
yeah. Um, are you like sociable around people? Like, how are you with other people? Like,
And I've been told that I've never met a stranger from a
mhm,
lot of people. Um, I just have that personality. I could pretty much talk to anybody. I don't know anybody that's like that I come across with, and it's not me being cocky. It's not me being conceited by any means. I
mhm.
just I that's who I am. I could pretty much talk to anybody. I don't look at somebody and think they're unapproachable or I'm intimidated in any way. That's just who I am.
Yeah, like you're one of the most like every time I see the streams or even when I talk to you, outside this community there, and you're one of the most friendliest guys I ever encountered. You really are, you
Yeah,
know.
I appreciate it.
Um, eh, you're welcome. It's the truth. Um, but I always thought you might have been a bit nervous, though. Am I wrong on that or no?
Nervous as in what?
Like when interacting, or am I wrong on that?
Interacting when
Like,
on streams and whatnot.
no, like when you're talking to me, or just in general, or am I wrong?
No, I like to listen.
Okay.
So that may have been like when I did What's Your Story, I said since day one, it's not about me, it's about the person that's on there telling their story. Because y'all were the real MVPs, people like yourself, people like Jules, people that had suffered from sexual assault and whatnot. It's really your guys' show. I'm just the one giving you guys a platform. So I like to listen. I like to basically give you guys a platform to tell your story. So it was not nervousness. It's not shyness by any means. This is me giving you guys the opportunity to tell your story, so to speak.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and get into the. When did you uh join the community?
See, I can't believe it's been over 2 years. Back when COVID was running rampant and people were going insane, buying all the toilet paper and shit at Walmart. Um, it's hard to believe it's been over 2 years. But back when all the lockdowns were happening, of course, there was nothing else to do. So I had a lot of time on my hands at that point in time. So I was on YouTube watching different stuff, and I came across a couple different catchers. Um, one being Alex. There's a couple of them before him. I can't remember the guy's name. He's no longer doing it. Um, but there's a couple other ones that I came across with, and I stumbled into Alex's, and then it pretty much since that point in time, I would say that I've been involved in one way or another in the community.
So almost very similar to me then. For me, it'd be 3 years this January.
No, I would say like probably like well, I wouldn't say that early. I would say probably like during the spring, summertime. I can't remember the exact. I remember like And if anybody remembers it, when Brad and Alex was called by Alex FMO, I think that was one of my very first catches that I saw. Um, I was around for the Jamie catch.
Yeah, I was around for that too.
So yeah, I would say about spring, summertime.
Yeah, for me, it'll be 3 years in January. I got in the community right around when COVID hit too, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was like, there was nothing else to do at that time, and of course, you got to do something to pass time. You couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't, and that doesn't seem like it's been 2 years, but it has. That time where you couldn't do anything, you couldn't go to the movie theater, you couldn't even go to a restaurant because
Yeah,
everything was pretty much locked down. So I had a lot of time on my hands. I was able to watch the stuff on YouTube and whatnot. I think I started by watching a lot of To Catch a Predator stuff, and then
yeah.
that just steamrolled into other stuff. And then I stumbled across JDQ and whatnot, and yeah, the rest is history.
So the first catcher you ever that you encountered on YouTube was Alex, then, right?
It wasn't Alex. It was oh man, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm drawing a blank. He's no longer even doing this. Um, but there was somebody else. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. He's recently just started doing catches again. It's in Central Florida. I'm sure Constantine or Red Hood would be able to think of the guy's name. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Um, he used to be a Predator Approaches Central Florida. You guys would know who I'm talking about. Um, he was one of the first ones I started watching, and then I snowballed into Alex Polo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why I was drawing a blank.
Yeah, for me, it was Ghost, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Ghost was one of the first ones too, as well.
yeah,
Um,
and that's where I found Alex. He did a
Yeah,
collab with him, you know. And I'll be honest, when I first saw Alex there, I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan, you know.
yeah.
I didn't think he meshed well with Ghost. And then Alex had the Czech Goldstein channel. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I went there and then I binge watched all his videos and I just became a fan.
Yeah,
I just became a fan. I said, this dude's hilarious, you know, and he's really good at what he does, you know.
yeah,
And then that's when I started watching. I think he had the PP official channel too. I'm pretty sure he did.
yeah. That
Um,
was.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And he had that channel, and then JDQ, and then everything just fell into place, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was literally over 2 years ago. Um, that I've been involved in one way or another. Like I said, just obviously was a lot more active then than I am now. Um, I've tried to peek my head in every once in a while, but life has pretty much kept me busy over, I would say, the past 6 months, a year, that I haven't really had the time to, and a lot of stuff that I just don't have the desire to entertain and whatnot. So,
Yeah. What did get so? What exactly did get you into the community though? Is it because you had like nothing to do? Everything was in lockdown.
yeah, that was pretty much it. I had absolutely nothing to do. I had a lot of time on my hands, and that's when I was a lot more active. That was before I started doing What's Your Story. I was just pretty much a member of the community. But I had, like I said, a lot more time on my hands. I was able to watch the live catches and stuff like that, and just over time, I was pretty much in the community.
Yeah, same here. Like I wasn't as active in the comment section, but I would just like binge watch a lot of videos.
Yeah,
You know, I binge
yeah,
watched a lot of Ghosts and then Alex's Check Olsen and then the rest of his videos.
Yeah, I started watching a lot of Alex's when he'd go to Walmart and do the Walmart catches, and Predator Poacher Southeast Texas. That was another one that I'd watch a lot of. I've been a supporter since day one of his as well. Yeah.
Um, how did you start? What's your story?
How did I start What's Your Story? I pretty much eh, being involved in the community. Even before then, I've always wanted to help pay it forward. I've always
Mhm.
wanted to give other people the opportunity, the platform to um, have a voice, basically tell their story, what happened to them. And it didn't necessarily have to be anything dark. It could have been anything that they've had to overcome in life. I wanted people to have that opportunity. So that pretty much span out of me joining the community, whatnot. I just decided one day, what the heck, let me just take a chance and do it.
And do you remember the first person that you ever interviewed, or?
Let me think, man, because I've pretty much interviewed a lot of people in the run that I had. Nate was one of the first ones. Let me think, man. I've interviewed a couple survivors. I can't remember these. Oh, okay. I just remember there's a catcher that's no longer even in the community. I think he was the very first interview that I did. But Nate was one of my first ones. There's a few other ones that was at the beginning.
Huh. Like, do you remember how you interviewed me? Like when I left a comment on your video?
Uh, like as far as the backstory.
Yeah, like I left a comment on one of your videos there. I said, like I quit drinking, and it was like a little over 2 years. And you said you want to interview me
Yeah, I don't remember the exact time frame or what happened, but
early January.
yeah, I remember it was around that time, but I don't remember the exact backstory of me interviewing you and whatnot. But I'm glad that you had the opportunity to share your story, man. Like I said, it's been over 2 years. Is that right?
It'll be 3 years this December.
3 years that you've been sober.
Yeah.
And I know it's been a while since you've interviewed or I've interviewed you. You've had some stuff that might have set you back. And it hasn't been easy, but still 3 years, man. That's something to be said about.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I almost slipped up in back in May, but luckily John talked me out of it.
Yeah.
And thank you again for that, John. Appreciate that. Yeah, like, I almost screwed up. I almost did.
Mhm.
And if I ever went back down that road, I don't know. I just don't know. I would have felt like a failure, you know. Um, who was your favorite person that you interviewed?
My favorite person.
Hmm.
There's been a lot of people that I've interviewed. I've interviewed JDQ. I've interviewed man, that's a hard question to ask because there's been a lot of people that I've interviewed. I can't say I have a favorite. Because like I said, I've pretty much interviewed a lot of people during that time. Um, I would probably say maybe JDQ would probably be one of my favorites.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Um,
JDQ.
I'm trying to think. There's been so many. It's all seems like a blur to me now, but there's been so many different catchers. I've interviewed Jesus. I've interviewed Courtney. I've interviewed there's
You,
been a couple
you
other
interviewed
people that I've
Alex.
interviewed that are no longer in the game, so to speak. But yeah.
Yeah, you interviewed Alex too.
Yes, I did interview Alex. I interviewed him sometime last year.
Yeah, I remember watching that. And you interviewed JDQ. You would say that he was humbled during that interview.
That I was humbled.
Well, that he was humbled.
Of that, Yeah, I mean, I gotta try not to. It's awkward for me to even say it. Like I'm confident in myself. I believe in myself, whatnot, but I don't ever think of myself more highly than I should. So when somebody says that, it means a lot to me. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's like, how do you respond? You know, here I am. I've looked up to JDQ. I've looked up to Alex and whatnot for a
Mhm.
little bit over 2 years, probably going on 3 years. Um, you know, they have these gigantic platforms. They're able to reach people that um an insane amount. I mean, just the growth that this movement has had over the past few years. It's been insane, bro. Just for them to say something like that, I don't know. It's hard for me to respond to.
Yeah. Can you read Christine's comment there? What her favorite movie? Yeah.
Yeah, Pablo. Yeah, that's another one. I appreciate that, Christy. Pablo was another good one, and I wasn't expecting that either. Just 'cause I never really had much interaction with him to begin with. I think the first time I spoke to him was during that interview. So that was one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. Pablo's one of the good ones too. Um, do you miss doing what's your story or?
I miss the aspect of giving people a platform to share their story.
Mhm.
Um, I miss that part. I miss just like I said, being able to give people an outlet. I do miss that part. As far as like the drama and stuff like that, everything that entails with the community, I don't miss. That's
Yeah.
why I'm no longer near as active as I used to be. It's just from the 2 years, 3 years, wherever that I've been involved, just the things that I've seen. It's just I don't deal with negativity. I don't deal with high school bullshit. I'll go ahead and say it. I don't deal with it. It's just, I can't be around it, and that's one of the things that kind of kept me away. That and life, pretty much, life took over. But yeah,
Uh, 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 I guess I could speak for everyone when I say this. We all miss you doing what's your story. We really do.
yeah, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Um, if I do sometime down the road do it, it won't be nowhere near as much as I used to.
Hmm.
Maybe once every other week or every month. Like I said on my post a couple months ago, um, I don't know what that would entail because there's a lot of new people, a lot of people that I have not interacted with as far as the catchers and whatnot or the community. Um, I don't know.
Like,
Maybe one day.
yeah,
Hmm?
like you never had ghosts on what's your story, have you?
No, no, I've never had Ghost on.
Well, or Locke for that matter.
Yeah, like I said, would give pretty much anybody back in the day an opportunity to share the story. It wasn't just catchers. It wasn't just people in that aspect. I gave cameraman. I gave survivors. I gave just anybody that felt like it was their time to tell the story.
Yeah, and everyone does have a story.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see who's late there?
What's that?
Did you see who's late? The comment I
Oh,
had.
hey, what's going on, Kitty?
Yeah, she's late as usual. Um, Christine says, it was at the interview with Pablo that I decided to adopt him in my heart as my fourth son. He was my Tex-Mex son. He's such a good person.
Pablo is a good person. Exactly. He's good. Is he a kid? A good kid. Wow. Um, I could tell even that being my first interaction with him, he's got a good heart.
Yeah, he does. And that's why whenever Alex brings on catches, he gets more people in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like what do you think? Let's talk about the community itself, if you don't mind. Um,
I just
would
made the list. Chris Jericho's list. What's up?
um, what do you think the state of it is right now? Like how it
Oh
is?
my. Oh my. Oh my. That's a loaded question. Um, I just the stuff like I talked about a few minutes ago, the things that I've seen, and of course you've always had drama. You've always um had stuff going on, but I think it's never been more rampant than now. Just the stuff with the panels, the 6, 7, 8 hour panels, and I'm not knocking anybody at all. More power to you if you want to do it. More power to you if you want to join it. I've joined in a couple of Locksmith's panels, and I'm not
Mhm.
necessarily talking about him. I'm just talking about widespread. Just the bickering back and forth over stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. Stuff that, in the grand scheme of things, is not going to matter. Constantly bringing up other people, um, bringing up people that don't deserve to even have the clout. Just the drama I don't have time for.
Yeah, like I totally agree with you 100% on that. So much has changed within the last what 6 to 8 months, and not for the good, but for the bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
Like
I
I'll go ahead.
I try to stay away from a lot of the negativity, a lot of the um just the toxic. I can't even word it out. The
Toxicity.
toxic environment.
Yeah.
I try to stay out of. It's just not good to think about. It's not good to think about. Okay, this guy in Bumfuck, Michigan, has a beef with this guy in Idaho over whatever. Um, just like let it go. That's what I've tried to tell Ryan a month ago about the whole Bill Powell issue, whatever. Just let it go, man. You're never gonna meet that person. You're never gonna see that person. Um, it's not in the grand scheme of things. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I tried telling Ryan that too. I said, just drop it. And he wouldn't. But
Yeah,
I don't want to shit on him or anything. It's just, you know, just move on from that. But did
it's not
you?
me shitting on Ryan either. Like I said, it's just an example that I could think of. It's so much more that I could say. And it's not me shitting on anybody, any particular person. It's just that from my perspective, they're not worth the clout that you give them. You keep on speaking about them, you're going to make them relevant. You keep speaking about Tommy, you keep bringing up streams about him. It's going to make him relevant. You're talking about him, you're bringing him up. You're basically letting him live rent free in your head, and he shouldn't have that space. You shouldn't give him that power.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, Constantine says, Pablo is fucking awesome and so much more than just a cameraman. He's an important part of PB and has perfected live streaming and makes it fun and interesting. Noobs that talk shit piss me off. Constantine, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. The new people that come in and talk shit about Pablo have no right to.
I don't see why anybody would talk shit about Pablo. That he's just one of the people. Like, if you have something bad about it, to say about him, then you need to check yourself, because I don't know. I don't know if it's jealousy or what. I haven't seen anything negative about Pablo, but I guess I haven't really been as active as I used to be. But if you got something negative to say about Pablo or Jesus or any of them, then you need to check yourself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Um, Kitty says, yes, what happened to the good old days? Again, she's right on that too. Like eight
Oh,
months ago. Oh, go ahead.
it wasn't so much as the good old days as people didn't have the platform to. And that's another thing about the panels. Yes, it's good to interact with other people and it's good to talk whatnot, but it also gives the opportunity for drama. It gives the opportunity for people that think they are they're owed something. People to think that it's their right and they're somebody offended them, so they have to speak about it. They have to make it right. You know, instead of handling an issue with that person man to man or on Instagram, you have to speak it out and get others involved and whatnot. And that shouldn't be the case. If you got a problem with somebody, just DM that person, or don't even speak about them in public. Just don't give them that platform.
Yeah, you're right. And Kitty says, so many new people here, and they think this is how it goes here. And she's right. Like these people need to learn fast as to how it really works around here. You know.
Yeah,
Um, like so much has changed within the last 6 to 8 months, and I just shake my head. That's one of the reasons why I left for a while.
hmm
Like just the constant bullshit.
yeah, and so much of that could drain you. So much of that, if you let it consume you, um, can be draining, man. And like I said, I've got a lot going on in my personal life, a lot of changes um, that I try to grow every day as a person and try to, I get surround myself around positive things, and that's not one of them. So,
Yeah. Getting back to that for a minute there. And you're right. Like when people keep bringing up Tommy and this person and that person, it's just adding to the drama that doesn't have to be added to.
mhm,
And it just can turn into a giant headache.
exactly. And if you let it get to you, if you let it consume you, um, like I said, you need to check yourself. People, I've said it time and time again. There's people that need to delete the YouTube app for a week, sometimes longer, and just go out and enjoy the world. Go out and see things that you don't normally get to see. Get a hobby. Get something that you like doing and do it. Even get a second job. Get a side hustle. Something to help make money. Just to pass time by, because you spending all day on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that is not good for you.
Yeah, it's like it could play tricks on you in a certain way. You know.
Mhm. I mean, I
Um,
got it whenever back in the COVID days when you had nothing else to do. There was no, you couldn't go to the movies, you couldn't go do things, but now you have plenty of opportunity to go out and
live a
explore
normal life.
yeah, live a normal life. You don't have to necessarily be consumed by YouTube 24 hours a day. It doesn't have to revolve around your day. There's people that's their existence is YouTube. That's all they're known for. That's all they have. And I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna, you know, exactly Red Hood said it best. For some panels is a hobby, but even like having a wrench, like you're not gonna be able to put that on your resume. Nobody's
Nope.
gonna ever hire somebody and be like, you know what, he's a good YouTube mod. I'm gonna go hire that person. That's just never that conversation never took place, or it's never going to take place.
Nope.
You're never gonna have somebody at your funeral say, you know what, he was a good YouTube mod. That's never gonna happen. So get don't get upset if you get a wrench taken away, or if you get it's just I don't know. It's stupidity. It's like childish. It's an imaginary thing that you have on your YouTube app that you can easily delete and go on about your life and live a happy life.
Yeah. Again, you're right. It's like YouTube and the real world. It's two different worlds. And
Exactly.
people don't seem to realize that at times. They really don't.
If you ever have a potential first date or second date with anybody, of the opposite sex, that conversation is never going to happen. You're never going to have that. Oh, are you a YouTube mod? That conversation is never going to happen. Like I said, there's a real world outside. You don't get consumed with YouTube.
You're right. That's why I'm not as active like in many or I'm not as consistent as I used to be, you know.
Yeah,
Like I'll be here or there, but not like I won't do like 10 streams in a row. Like that's completely absurd, you know.
yeah.
Like
I don't.
I'll oh, go ahead.
I don't see how anybody has time for that, to be honest with you. But to each their own.
Yeah, like so I noticed too, like at the beginning I was kind of doing that and then I was like falling back on a lot of other stuff in my life. And I'm like, oh shit, you know, I didn't realize that at the beginning. It took me a while to figure it out, you know. And then I'm like when you remember when I left, right?
You left the community.
Yeah,
Um, I
during
mean, I know a little bit. I mean, that's. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You could talk about it if you want. It's up to you.
well, no, I'm not gonna say the reason why, but I felt I was gone for like about 5 weeks and I felt great. I felt normal again, you know. Don't get me wrong. I like being here because, you know, you want to make the difference. You want to be here for the right reasons. But at the same time, too, though, sometimes it can be overwhelming.
Hmm.
Am I
Yeah.
wrong? Am I wrong for saying that or no?
As far as the stuff on YouTube,
Yeah, like with all the drama and unnecessary drama, I should say.
yeah, any type of negativity can overwhelm you. It doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube. It could be family drama. It could be drama in your relationships. It could be drama at the workplace. Um, hey, I was reading that comment. I wasn't necessarily talking about somebody taken away. I wasn't necessarily talking about that scenario per se. I was just overall, wrenches don't mean shit. I'll just say it.
Yeah,
In the
but
grand scheme of things, it's just a wrench. If you get one, great. If you don't, no, it's not gonna impact your day. It's not gonna impact your real world life, or it shouldn't. Let me say it that way.
yeah, like say, well, like when I go in the lock stream from time to time, right? I'm not a mod there. Like it doesn't bother me. Like I'm not going to go back to drinking because I'm not a mod there. You know,
Yeah,
that would be insane.
yeah. I'm
You know,
not gonna lose sleep because somebody didn't mod me on the channel, or somebody got I offended me on YouTube or whatever. Yeah, as soon as I walk away from my phone, it's done. Back to real life. Exactly. And that's the way it should be. There's a whole world out there. There's not consumed with whatever stuff that you got going on, YouTube,
like
whatever.
yeah, like I'll be honest too. Like when I was gone for almost 5 weeks, part of me didn't want to come back. You know, but I came back anyways, and I came back kind of refreshed. You know, but it was just more bullshit. You know,
Yeah.
more bullshit. And I'm and what you said earlier, remember the good old days? The comment that she made? Um, I think she meant like when you just watch catches, you know, like Alex and Ghost and all of them just do catches, and there wasn't like a panel where someone has beef with another person, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we had panels like, I mean, we didn't really call them panels back when White Guy Wednesday was going on, and back when JDQ was doing his thing. There was stuff like that in that aspect, but it wasn't as prominent as it is now. People arguing over the other people and just drama. People coming out of the woodworks just to get offended by other people.
Yeah, you're right, and that's yeah, man, I miss White Guy Wednesday. I'm not sure you probably do too. Like that
Yeah, I
was a
mean,
oh, go
it
ahead.
had its run. It had its run. like Nate said the other night, it has run. I don't think it would be done today. To be honest with you, with the way things are now, but that What's Your Story, the stuff JDQ is doing on his main channel, he's doing stuff on Vision Eye View. But the type of stuff he was doing, like it served his purpose.
Yeah, like White Guy. I didn't consider White Guy Wednesday as a drama panel. I never did.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it couldn't be done today with the landscape of
Yeah,
things. People getting offended because I was on there a few times. We'd roast the hell out of each other. And we wouldn't get offended or anything like that. It was just us joking with each other. Um, People would get offended, and people would. It's just the way things are in society. People get offended over every little thing. They get their panties all in a bunch and get upset.
yeah, like the level of drama in today, it's at an all-time high in my opinion. It really is.
Yeah,
Compared to 6, 8 months ago, where everything just seemed more relaxed. Sure, people would still be talking about Tommy, but it wasn't as much. Or like, we're talking about this person or that person or whatever. It wasn't really happening.
oh man, I just happened to chuckle at Constantine. Go ahead and highlight if you want.
That
Oh
one,
man,
the one I just did.
when he did his public call out, that was hilarious. I found it hilarious um, that he did that, but I'm still getting flashbacks. Alex on the megaphone doing his thing.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, he did. He had a megaphone for a few things.
You
Oh,
know,
cool.
he was calling me out too. But yeah, like I said, like we were busting each other balls, but it was nothing personal. Nothing. I joke on myself. The people that know me. I joke on myself. I'm the first person to joke on myself. So
Yeah, and certain, people need to learn how to lighten up if people like joke on other people, and not take it
yeah,
seriously.
it's not that deep. It's just YouTube is an app, a free app on your phone that you can easily delete. Like I said earlier in the interview, you could easily delete the app and move on with your life and do other things. You don't have to let people get you upset, get you offended. You don't have to take things personal. They don't know you. They don't pay your bills. They don't know what you've got to do throughout the day. Um, so why let it get to you? Um, why take it personal? Like I said, they don't know you. This it's not that deep.
Yeah, you're right. Um, you ever thought about how should I ask this? You ever thought about like leaving the community altogether, just not coming back, or
There was a time or two. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes. Um, those that know. But yeah, but there was also in me, I was stubborn. Um, and people got to know the real me during that whole thing. But yeah, I did. Other times that I did, even recently, I thought about just closing that chapter behind me. But it is what it is.
there's something that just keeps you here, though, right?
Not necessarily something that keeps me here. I could leave anytime that I wanted to. And I've never publicly said, "Hey, I'm leaving the community. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing that." I would just bounce. But it's not. I don't know. I just learned to not let things take things personal, so it doesn't really affect me one way or another.
Yeah, you're right. Like, like certain people shit on me too, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just don't. You know.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to talk to them face to face. You're not going to chances are you're never going to meet that person, whoever that person is. I don't even know who you're talking about, but
Oh, just random trolls.
oh, just random trolls. Oh, dude, trust me, trust me. Constantine knows, Red Hood knows. There's other OGs that know. Trust me, you're gonna have trolls. You just got to learn to take the good with the bad, man. And now you got a platform. Now that you've got a space, you're gonna have trolls, man. And the more that your channel grows, I see that you're up to 200 something subscribers.
Yeah,
Um,
something like that.
and the more that you get subscribers and the more that you're out there, you're gonna have trolls, man. And you gotta just gotta learn to take it, you know, take the good with the bad. Laugh at yourself, man. Don't
Yeah,
take
but
yourself too seriously. Don't get offended. Because the moment you do that, you're just giving them a free game, man. You're a free game.
yeah,
And
but
they could just jump on you like piranhas, and that's when they know that you're vulnerable, man.
yeah, but you're right. But I wasn't talking about on my channel. Though. I was talking about when I go into lock stream.
I'm talking about in general, bro. Not necessarily your
Oh,
channel.
in
I'm
general?
talking about like you now got a platform so people know who you are. So,
Yeah,
like I said, if you do have trolls, if you do have people that are trolling you, man, don't get offended by it. Don't take it personal. Just take the good with the bad, man.
yeah. If there's one thing I've learned about being here, is that you have to have very thick skin.
Exactly.
You really do. You have to have thick skin. Like if people shit on me, I'm like, I just don't give a shit. Nor should
Yeah.
I.
You should, man. Like I said, they don't pay your rent, they don't pay your bills, they don't put gas in your car. You're never gonna see them on the street, so to speak. So why let them live rent free in your head, man?
Yeah, you're right. Um, do you think this community will like turn the corner and be what good again, or no?
That's hard to say, man. It's pretty much the society as a whole, man. It's I think the more positive things that you see, maybe eventually. And that's not me tooting my horn. It's not. I'm just talking about others like Jules and the streams that you do. That gives hope to other
Yeah,
people to share their story, to get stuff that was meant to be a negative and turn it into a positive. I think that could help out, but that's hard to say.
um, yeah. Like, do you remember the day that you interviewed me, though? Right?
Do I remember the? It was like earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest. Like, before I went on panel, I was scared shitless. I really was.
Yeah.
I was like really scared.
You
Like,
seem more confident. I don't know. Maybe it's just the things that you got interviews in your belt and whatnot, but you seem a little more confident, and that's a good thing, man.
oh, thank you, appreciate that. Like, I never expected to do this. It was tech that kept pushing me to do it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's, I saw like my sub count was going up. I'm like, and his text was like, yeah, go live, go live. I'm like, and I said, screw it, I might as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be honest, I took a lot of inspiration from you.
I appreciate that, man.
You're welcome. Like, I really did. Like, I didn't want to be like a carbon copy, but I wanted to take like certain elements from what you do. You know,
Yeah. I'm gonna make it your own, just like Jules is doing. She pretty much is doing her thing. There's other people. I'm sure there's a lot of new people that I've seen in the
yeah,
community. I pop in every once in a while. I'm not involved, but I am aware of some of the new people and whatnot that are doing things, and more power to them.
yeah. Like, oh shoot, I forget what I was going to say now. I want to do like a variety of things, not just like stick to one subject. Like I just want to do like random stuff.
Hmm.
Like I was thinking about talking about the justice system. You know how like when catchers go get the Preds and they get arrested, but they don't get like the sentence that they expect.
Hmm.
You know, or like remember when Alex and Ghost got EDP and he basically got away with it.
Yeah.
Like I want to talk about stuff like that too. Like why does Houston not give a shit about Chomos? Why does California basically don't give a shit?
Do what you want to do, man. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this anything involving this community, whatnot. Whatever your passion is, if that's what it is, then do it. If you have other desires to do other things, then do it, man. Don't let that limit you. Just like Red Hood, he did stuff on video game and stuff like that. Um, just do what that you want to do. Don't pigeonhole yourself, man. Don't box yourself in and think, okay, I gotta just cover this topic. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, thank you, and I will. And Brian, I'm definitely not. You know that. But yeah, I was thinking about. I'm going to ask this anyways. You're still like around the community, obviously, and you've seen like people here and there, like the new people. Do you think like certain people that are here don't belong here?
What do you mean?
Like they're just here to like start shit?
Um, are you? I mean, I'm not. I I don't know if you're trying to get me to points about
Oh
particular
no,
or
no,
what.
no, just.
Oh,
No, I'm not trying to name names or anything. I'm just talking about like a few people in general.
there's some people, yes, that's all they do is try to start trouble and try to instigate issues. I can't think of anybody of just particular offhand. But to answer your question, yes. But like I said, you gotta learn to not take it personal. Don't give them that platform. Don't give them that space in your head, man. And the people will expose themselves. Um, you know, what's in the dark will come to light. And you reap what you sow. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about you reap what you sow. So people that try to stir up stuff, people that try to cause division and do other things, it's going to come to light. They're going to get what they had coming to them.
Yeah, very well said. And um, what I wanted to ask too is like you um, what's happening with like with Alex and Ghost right now? You see what's been happening with them, right? Like Alex got in trouble again with Puggy Pug and all that. Um, do you think Rumble's the future, like for all the catchers, or no?
Uh, I don't know if it's necessarily the future. Um, it's just YouTube as a whole is cracking down on a lot of catchers and whatnot. Um, it's an opportunity it doesn't have obviously it doesn't have the biggest a platform as YouTube and whatnot, but whatever outlet that you can to help spread awareness is more power to you. If it's with Instagram, if it's with Facebook, Twitter, you got to use whatever resources that you have available to help spread awareness and whatnot. So if YouTube stops you, then you got to just make a way somewhere else.
Yeah, well said. Um, you're a wrestling fan, of course, right?
Yeah, I have. I mean, there's was times that I haven't watched or that I didn't watch. Um, but yes, to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, so WWE's like being become the place to be once again.
Yeah, Triple H has pretty much taken over the past couple months. Bray Wyatt just came back on the scene. There's a couple other people that were released that came back on the scene and whatnot. Um, I don't follow it as much as I used to, but I still keep up with it.
Yeah, they
Like
brought
I
and
don't. It's not like when I was a kid, when the Attitude Era, when the Nitro, when Raw was on, that I would have to watch it every Monday night. I would have to like when I don't know if you did this, but when you were constantly changing channels during commercials between Raw and Nitro, it just doesn't happen. And like if I watch it, I watch it, but it's not like okay, I gotta go home and watch this, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. If I watch it, fine. If I watch AEW, then fine. I don't. It's not like that consuming as it was back in the day.
yeah, because it doesn't have the cool factor anymore.
Yeah, it's slowly getting back to that point, but even now, like I'm a grown adult now. Like I yes, I love it, but I don't let it consume me like I did back in the '90s when had the Raw Nitro on, Hulk Hogan, DX, NWO, and all that stuff.
Yeah, like I think you already know I'm an old school WCW guy.
Yeah, like I said, that's what we grew up on, so we tend to lean into what we grew up on. There was a time like I didn't watch or didn't really keep up with it, but I keep up with it now.
Yeah, like I mostly rely on the podcasts like Jim Cornette and Saul Monster and a few others.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Big Foley's got a good podcast out. There's a few other ones that are pretty good. DDP's got another one too. It's pretty much made on positivity.
Yeah.
I share a lot of his stuff. If you don't notice on my Instagram, I share a lot of his positive stuff. I gained a lot from him. There's a couple other ones that have got pretty good podcasts.
Nash has one too now.
Yeah, I listened to that. Um, I think Stone Cold was the one that really started it all, and then the floodgates. He started the whole podcast game, to be honest with you. And then the floodgates opened up with Jericho doing his, and then it just all went downhill.
Yeah, man, the Nash one's pretty good. I don't think I ever told you this, but I think it was what year or two before you know, it hit. Scott Hall was in my city.
Scott Hall,
Yeah, he was there with his son Cody.
yeah. Most of the people, like the wrestlers, are from Tampa,
Yeah,
so it's real weird, but easy for me to say. Um, that a lot of the wrestlers, like Chris Jericho, Hulk Hogan's also got a place in Clearwater. So they've been around. I don't think I've ever met anybody personally, but just to know that they're in your city or they're from your city is pretty cool.
yeah. I regret not meeting Scott Hall though. I regret it.
Yeah, he was one of my faves growing up. I loved the NWO and
Same here.
um, I was a huge Wolfpack fan and DX and whatnot.
I didn't like DX as much,
Georgia
but
Animal. I think that was my very first memory of watching wrestling when I was probably like 3 or 4 watching Georgia Animal Steel. Yeah.
yeah, but Scott Hall was in my city. It was because his son was wrestling at some kind of local event.
Yeah. Was he like during the days when he was like drinking a lot or
No, he was sober. It was just I think either 2018 or 2019 he was here in Windsor.
oh, that's another story of like he's obviously he passed away due to issues from it, the alcoholism and whatnot. Um but he battled it with it for years, alcoholism and drinking and whatnot.
Do you heard why he drank the way he did though, right?
Yeah, he murdered somebody or didn't he kill somebody or something like that?
It was an
I don't think it's
accident.
like intentional, but
No, yes, Tommy in Windsor. Yeah, it was an accident, but he felt guilty and he never got the proper help for it.
yeah. And back then, especially with like wrestling, they were taught to be men and whatnot. Even society, like if you got something going on, you got to be a man. You got to toughen up, and instead of trying to get help.
Yeah, I always liked the Outsiders. I was always a fan of them. And then when Scott passed away, I'm like, fuck, I was
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah, he, like I said, it wasn't intentional, but that stuff like that can haunt you, man.
Yeah, like, what a shame. Like, fuck. But getting back to the community here. I wish everything would be as it once was. Maybe I'm just gullible for thinking that. I don't know. It's hard to say. I
Hmm.
hope I hope things turn the corner, but I just don't see it. There's always going to be that next big drama event, you know.
That's why you try to keep yourself away, like I have, and not try to engage yourself in too much of it. Um, like I said, there's a whole life out there, man. There's people that you got family, you got friends, you got a whole like jobs and whatnot. There's a whole life besides YouTube. You don't have to let it consume you 24 hours a day. And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying in general, you can't let things get to you. You can't let you can't worry about the future.
Yeah, you're right. Hey Penny, I'm glad you made it home safely, or that you're getting home safely. In a second, what does Red say? Terrence, uh, one can only hope that investigators find out how futile their holy mission is. Well, Red Hood's got a good point there. He's right. You know,
Mhm. Yeah, man, just keep doing your thing. Like I said, don't let things get to you. Don't let um the community consume you, man, because it could suck you back in if you try to let stupid stuff gain control of your mind, man.
yeah, you're right. Tommy says, nice. I like Windsor a lot. I used to go there every time we visited family in Detroit. It reminds me of my cousin good times. Nice, Tommy. Yeah, Windsor's not bad. It's not a bad place. Um, yeah, like I just miss the good old days of just watching like Alex doing the catches or just like the prank calls and stuff like that. Not having to worry about this person's got beef with this person or whatever. Like what the next drama will be. I think for me, if I had to pinpoint something, um, I don't know. I don't know, like when everything went downhill. It's hard to say, you
Hmm.
know. But and a lot of good people left because of that too. A lot of good people did,
Yeah,
you know, and they backed away from it, and that really sucked. Like as I said, when I left for 5 weeks, part of me didn't want to come back. But the other part's like I had unfinished business.
you've got a platform now, man. And like, whether I like to admit it or not, I have one too, or had one at the time, and that gives you a pause to come back and gives you hope because maybe you can help give other people a chance to share the story. I don't know what other interviews that you've done or who you've interviewed, but you've got an opportunity now to help other people, man.
Yeah, you're right, and thank you. I interviewed Penny. I interviewed Christine. I interviewed Bill. You know,
Hmm.
um, plan on interviewing a few more people. Interviewing you right now. You know, um, okay, Terrence, this is what I keep saying. The difference between a village and a community is. That's why Penny's right. She calls it a village, and she's absolutely right. It is a village. Like I would equate it to like two different factions. The good people are in the village, and the ones that like to cause trouble are in the community. What do you think, Chris?
Kitty, did you touch my drum set? Sorry, I couldn't resist. I saw her comment. I
Oh,
just think of Step Brothers, that quote in the movie. Did you touch my drum set? Um, what were you asking? I'm sorry.
what Penny said. She's like, Terrence, this is what I keep. saying the difference between a village and a community as to why I shared my thinking. She likes to call it a village. It's because no, different people. It's the good people are in the village, and I would say the disturbers that are in it for themselves are in the community. Would you would you agree on that or no?
I mean, I don't I don't know. I don't wouldn't know what you mean as far as the difference between village and community. They're among us. I think a lot of people just have to be aware of who they are. And like I said, eventually their true colors will show. Um, keep your circle close. Keep the friends that are your friends to a minimum, and go
Mhm.
on about your day. Don't let things get to you.
Yeah. Constantine, can you do me a favor, and or Bryden for that matter? Can you share Chris's link to his channel? For the people that might not know, Chris has a channel called "What's Your Story," obviously, and he does a lot of great videos on there, and like he interviewed a lot of great people, like JDQ, Alex, Tracy, Pablo, a bunch of other people. And he does a lot of great motivational Monday videos too, a lot, and I listen to the majority of them. You would say, Chris?
What's that?
I listen to the majority of your motivational Monday videos.
I appreciate that, man.
Yep. Um, and oh, thank you, kid. Appreciate it. Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, please do. He doesn't really do as much what's your story interviews as much anymore, but do you plan? You said you want to do it again, though, right?
I it just depends. Never say never, but like I said, if even if I do, it won't be nowhere near as much as I used to. It'd be like a once every other week or once a month or whatnot. But who knows?
Yeah, oh, I hope you do. Okay, this is what Penny says. The village is for the cause of good, but in community, it's always going to bring drama for nothing more than the bad. She's right. You know, you see her comment there, Chris?
Yes, I did.
It's almost like in wrestling terms, two different factions.
Yeah. You gotta know just the end. Good will always rise above evil, man. Like I said, what's done in the dark will always be brought to the light, and you reap what you sow. On people that constantly sow negativity and drama and stuff like that, and have an agenda, have a motive, it's gonna be revealed. And what goes around comes around.
You're right.
It may not be in our time, it may not be tomorrow or 2 weeks down the road, but eventually they're gonna reveal who they are, um, their true colors.
Yeah, you're right. Kid, if you want, can you put the other links to all the channels too, please? Like, Constantine, you can plug your channel if you want, and plug all the other channels too. You know what, Chris? I'll say this: I'm glad that you didn't leave. I'm glad that you're still here because I'll
Thank
be
you.
honest, you're welcome. It wouldn't be the same without you. It really wouldn't. You know, it really wouldn't. You're one of the OGs in my opinion. You really are. You know,
I appreciate that, man.
you're welcome.
Like I said, I'm no different than you. I'm no different than Constantine. I'm no different than um, some of the other ones. Just I happen to have a platform at one time, man. Um, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And be honest, did you ever think I would be doing this or no?
I never thought you. Not that I didn't think that you do it. I just didn't think it was like something you like to do. That's you can do whatever you want to do, man. It's up to you. You control what you want to do, man. You control your future, man. So if you
Okay,
want to continue doing this, man, keep doing it, man.
oh, I will. But okay, let me phrase that then. Are you surprised that I'm doing this?
Yeah. To be honest with you, yes, I am. But I'm glad that you are because, like I said, it's you're helping other people get opportunity to share the story, man. And I hope you gain more confidence in yourself, man, and see, see this out, man. You don't know where this could lead to. You don't know what's down the road, man.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate that. Tatiana says, Chris is a kind, sweet, gentle soul. You got that
Thank you.
right, Tatiana. He is. You know,
Thank you.
as I said, if you left, it wouldn't be the same. It really wouldn't. You know, it would be more, just going downhill.
I,
Um,
appre- I appreciate that.
you're welcome. And I'll be honest too. Like when I asked you if I could interview, I was a little surprised that you said yeah. Because, you've been busy as a lot lately. Uh, Penny says, Chris, you and everyone in here listening to you and Terrence, really of that is good. Look forward to watching you. Thank you, Penny. Both Chris and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Penny. Um, no, man, like I interviewed you this year, man. I just thought an opportunity to pay it forward, man, for you to be able to interview me. Jules has interviewed me, so has JDQ. So it's been a couple people that have had that opportunity. So I figured, why not?
Yeah, like I guess everything's gone full circle then.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I told Pablo that I was interviewing you, and he was all excited, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, you got a YouTube channel?" I'm like, "Yeah." Some people
Yeah.
still don't know. Like if I told JDQ, he'd be like, "Wait, you do videos now?"
Yeah, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Your subs are gonna grow. You'll you'll have plenty of interviews down the road, I'm sure. I don't know who you got planned up next, but just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, and I will. I could interview JDQ. That'd be interesting. I'd have to ask him.
And it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, but as I said, he'd probably be surprised, that I'm doing this. But yeah, I hope, as I said earlier, I hope everything turns the corner here. I don't see it happening because there's always going to be that next big drama, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
XL, oh, this is a refreshing change from the usual community. Thanks, XL. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, the one thing I won't allow on here on the panel is drama.
That's the
I,
best way to be, man.
yeah, like I just don't want to be another. Don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on Locke or Ed or anyone like that, or Bill for that matter. I'm not, and I enjoy it. I'll be honest. The drama sometimes I do enjoy it, and sometimes it just gives me a headache. So it's like a
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah. I like Locke. Like I said, it's nothing personal. I've been on a couple times just for a few moments. But as far as the whole thing in general, it's just I could do without it.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I like their panels, but I just don't want to be like a carbon copy of them.
Yeah.
You know? But like as I said, I was inspired by you and like a couple other people, but you in particular. Like so I watch a few of your interviews with certain people, and I'm like, there's one text like, "Yeah, go live." I'm like, okay, but mine's gonna be like a combination of things.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Eventually, you'll find your own niche. Find out things that you like to do, whatnot. Like I said, just don't pigeonhole yourself. Easy for me to say, and do what you want to do, man.
Yeah,
I
I
appreciate you
think
for having me on.
yeah, thank you, Chris, and again, thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it. Like, I did a video called "What a Drag,"
Hmm.
and I had Jaime on there
Yeah,
from yeah, and I was honored that she was on there, and we are talking about like how the drag people would teach or not teach, but read to the kids in schools and stuff like that. How it's wrong, you know.
yeah.
Like
She
I want. Oh, go ahead.
she's awesome. She's another person that I interviewed on What's Your Story too. Another one of my favorites. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. There's a lot of good people here still.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like, and I've said this multiple times before, I'm gonna say it again. I feel like the there's more bad than good.
Like I said, you just gotta focus on. You can't focus on the bad, man. Um, I've said it a few times, but you just gotta focus on the good stuff, man. You can't let the bad and the negativity drain you, and you can't let it get to you.
Yeah,
You let it get to you, it can ruin your day. It can ruin um, the real world that you have going on, stuff that you have going on in your life and whatnot, man. Just don't let it get to you.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And most times it doesn't, but sometimes it just becomes very, I wouldn't say stressful. It's just a headache. A headache. That's the perfect word.
Yeah,
Uh, Tatiana's like says Jaime is also a sweet soul. She's one of my favorite people in the world. Yeah, Jaime's a sweet person. She really is. And her, you, Constantine, Bryden, Lala, a few others. I'm not going to name all, but Penny and a few, quite a few others are the good ones here. And that keep keep it going.
yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you. If there's any questions or anything that anybody has for me, I can stick around for a couple more minutes and
Yeah. Does
see if
anyone
there's
have
any
any
questions.
questions for? Oh, that's what I want to ask you.
What's that?
Um, who came up with the nickname Wish?
That was Alex.
Why am I not surprised?
I can't remember the exact details behind it, but yeah, that was him.
And
It
was it
just
like?
stuck around ever since. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of embraced it, and that's what everybody pretty much knows me as.
yeah, 'cause, I remember a few weeks ago you were in the stream and I saw you there and I went wish a few times and Cat Eyes asked me like if I was okay. Like she didn't understand that we all call you that.
Yeah, it's pretty much stuck. Alex started it all, but yeah, it was yeah. I pretty much embraced it, and that's the rest is history.
Yeah. Did you read Constantine's comment?
Wish Demon. Yes, I read it.
But does anyone have any questions for Chris, aka What's Your Story, aka Wish? Oh, by the way, you did wish Ryan happy birthday, right?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Yeah, hard to believe he's 14. I
Ah,
mean, I
14.
mean,
I thought I was thinking he was 11 or 12. I didn't think he was up into teenage years.
well, I heard he went to Chuck E. Cheese for his birthday, so
Okay. To each their own.
yeah. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, oh wait, oh here we go. Constantine's like, it's cause Larish makes a whoosh sound.
Little did y'all know it's not LaRoche. It is LaRoche. I've said it since day one. It's LaRoche.
Brian's like, nice to have you up there, Chris.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Constantine's like, but little did you know it's not Roche, it's either Roche
Love it.
or
It's LaRoche. I thought people knew it. Yeah, it's LaRoche.
well, it's a French last name.
It is, and yeah, everything in the book I was called growing up, so I'm used to people butchering it, but it is LaRoche.
Yeah, people still butcher my last name too, which is, oh well, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, you just gotta learn to, yeah, it's no big deal.
But yeah, I know you're busy and you probably gotta go back to whatever it is you were doing. But thank you for coming up here, Chris. I really appreciate it. I do.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Like I said, keep doing what you're doing.
Well,
You're gonna have other people on, I'm sure, down the road, and just keep doing it, man.
I will. I'll try. Like, I'll be honest. I'm surprised. Like, uh, I thought it was bad. I'll be honest. I thought it was bad at doing this.
The more and more you do it, the more confidence you get in yourself. You'll, like I said, you'll find your niche. Um, I didn't do it. I didn't. I think my first interview was horrible, but I'm hard on myself in general, as a whole. But the more you do it, the more confidence you'll get in yourself, and you'll find your niche or niche. La
Niche.
Roche.
Uh, don't worry about it, X. I'll just call me TC like everyone else does. But oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say now. But yeah, as I said, I just don't want to be like a carbon copy of you. Like there's a few reasons why I had you up here. One because you did interview me, and so I wanted to return the favor.
Hmm.
Um, Two, because there's a bunch of new people here that might not know who you are. So
Yeah,
it'd be a good exposure too.
true. I appreciate that. There's people that I've seen around. I saw the bad guy in here earlier. I
Mhm.
try to pop in a couple on his streams. There's a couple other people that I've seen. There's people that I don't know, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Like that's the thing too. Like after when I came back from almost the 5 weeks, like I met a bunch of new people. Like just a bunch of new people I met.
Yeah,
And I was
every,
quite surprised. But
everyone
unfortunately,
thought the Wish would be a JDQ ripoff, but he's totally different. It's all right, good man. Like I interviewed people. I think JDQ just primarily interviewed catchers and covered that content. I interviewed survivors and different parts of people that were parts of the community. I didn't necessarily just interview catchers and whatnot. So Down syndrome, no. A cerebral palsy, Joe Rogan hype. Get it straight.
Constantine. But
I
yeah,
can joke on myself. I don't care. Ah,
yeah, kid, can you plug Chris's channel again, please? Because he's got a lot of good videos on there, and he does a lot of great Monday motivational videos. Well, you've been dropping it off like at midnight sometimes though lately, haven't you?
it just depends. Um, when I feel like doing it. Sometimes I do it at midnight. Sometimes it's in the afternoon. I don't know. Just whenever. Whenever it depends.
Yeah, like keep doing those, please. We all need that. We really do. A lot of us do. Hey
Thank
Lisa,
you.
you're welcome. Like your videos are really good, and as I said earlier, you're one of the good ones here, Chris. You really are. You know, and I'm honored to know someone like you. Thank
Uh, Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. It's like I said, it's awkward being on the other end of compliments and whatnot. Um, but I appreciate it, man.
you. You're welcome, man. If anyone else doesn't have any questions for Chris, might as well end it. I'll end it at the 140 mark. Try to end it evenly. But yeah, this a lot has changed. And just not for the better, unfortunately. Like I don't let it try to bother me, but I'll be honest. Like I do regret coming back at times. Oh wait, Tatiana's like a lot of the drama should be handled off YouTube. Adults need to start acting like adults. The calling out of someone every 12 hours is a joke. Bad people need exposed, but all this extra shouldn't be on YouTube. You know what? She's right. I don't know why they just can't do it like on the phone or something like that. You know?
Yep. like man to man on DMs or whatever. But
You know,
yeah,
like if someone's got beef with some, like another person, oh, you gotta panel it out. You know, I'm like, ugh. And the main focus has been forgotten about, in my opinion. It really has.
well, let me part with nothing else than keep the main thing the main thing. I think that's no better way to end it.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, hang on a second. It's because of Discord and now Gilded. The drama brews there. That's the pit of the community. You know what? Khan says a point. Wait, Red Hood's like, laugh my ass off. The adults get mad when people my age or slightly older stand up to them when they act like toddlers.
See, I don't even do Discord or Gilded. I had Discord at one time, but I just stopped doing it. Um, One because I was busy, and another I just didn't have time to entertain the foolishness. But yeah, like Constantine said, keep the main thing the main fucking thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Did you read Red Hood's comment?
Yes, I did.
All right. And yeah, Constantine's right. Keep the main thing, the main motherfucking thing. Tatiana's like exactly what you say. The main reason it has been lost. Unfortunately, it has. Which is extremely sad. All right.
Yeah.
Might as well end it since I know you're very busy. You know.
Oh man, I appreciate you for having me on, man.
And thank you for being up here. And Chris, we hope, a lot of us hope to see a lot more of you around the streams or the chats.
Well, man, I'll be around. Like I said, it's not as much as I used to be, but I'm still around one way or another.
Well, Nate's been popping up here and there lately.
Yeah, he's a pretty busy person himself too.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Constantly wish stay focused on that.
Well, Locksmith. Nobody said anything about fuck.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh. Hey, Locke.
nobody said anything about fuck Locksmith. Anyways,
Is that the Constant? Is that the real Locke? It must be. Yeah. It must be him. Yeah. Hey, Locke. How's it going? Locke lurking. I'd like to interview Locke one day too.
yeah, you never know.
Well, Cons, plug your channel too, please. Hang on a second. Tatiana's like, thank you, Chris. It's always nice to hear from you. Everyone, have a wonderful Friday and a blessed weekend. You too, Tatiana. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah. Yeah, might as well end it. Thank you once again, Chris. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you
No
came up
problem,
here.
man.
And
How
hopefully,
you doing?
yeah, you too. And hopefully you do part 2 on What's Your Story one day.
Who knows, man? Never say never, brother.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. And everyone in the chat, have a great night and have a great weekend and peace, everybody. Thanks for showing
Later,
up.
man.
Appreciate it. Later. Have a good one.